This is the page where I hand the trading over to the engine. That is a frightening idea.
It should be, until you understand every field. So we are going to walk all of them. Nothing here is magic. Each field is one rule you are giving the engine, and the engine cannot break any of them. 3 tabs at the top. Configuration is where you set the rules per trade type. Profiles holds the deeper per type behavior. Margin is where you divide your capital between the types.
And if I do not want to read all of it today?
There is a guided setup button that fills the platform's standard values for you in paper mode. It is a safe start, but the point of this lesson is that you will know what those values mean.
There is one card per trade type.
Yes, intraday, swing, options, futures, commodity. Each is configured separately because they behave differently. A rule that suits an intraday stock trade is wrong for an option that decays every day. Now the most important control on the card mode. Paper or live. And this matters more than it looks. The settings are stored per type and per mode.
Meaning my paper rules and my live rules are 2 different sets?
Exactly. You can run a loose, experimental setup in paper and a strict one in live at the same time, and they never leak into each other. Switch this selector and the whole card reloads with that mode saved values.
The first switch says Enable Auto Trade.
That is the master switch for this type in this mode. Off means the engine may analyze and score, but it will never place an order for this type. Nothing else on the card matters while it is off.
And the second one, Dry Run, Shadow?
This is the safest setting in the whole platform, and almost nobody uses it. In dry run the engine does everything, scores, checks every gate, decides and then does not place the order. It records what it would have done.
So I can test a change without risking anything, even in paper.
Yes. Change a threshold, leave it in dry run for a week, and read what it would have taken. That is how you tune a setting with evidence instead of a feeling.
Score threshold, 0 to 10. What is the score?
It is the setup strength. The AI scores each signal: trend, momentum, volume, option interest, news, and the rest, and the platform combines them by weight into one number out of 10. This field says, do not trade unless the setup is at least this strong.
What number should I put?
The platform's standard for real money is 8 out of 10. In paper it pre-fills a lower, learning value, because a paper account that never trades teaches you nothing and there is nothing to lose. If you set it below the standard, a dialog appears and tells you so it does not block you. Your account, your call, the platform only refuses to let you do it without knowing.
And a higher number?
Fewer trades, better average quality. 9 will trade a handful of times a month. There is no free lunch here, you are trading frequency against selectivity.
Then minimum probability, in percent. Is that not the same as the score?
No, and this is the single most misunderstood pair on the platform. The score says how strong the setup is. The probability says how much the signals agree on direction. You can have a strong setup where half the signals point up and half point down strong, but confused. And you can have a weak setup where everything agrees. They are different questions, so they get separate bars.
Does a trade need to pass both?
Both. It is an and, never an or. Score at or above your threshold and probability at or above your minimum, and then the other gates as well. Your plan allows that type, your subscription is active, the budget is free, the risk rules pass. Miss any one and the trade is skipped, with the exact reason written into your decision feed. Nothing is silent.
Margin budget in rupees. Is this how much I will lose?
No, it is the most money this trade type may have deployed at once. It is a ceiling on exposure, not on loss. Your loss is controlled by the stop, which we come to in a moment. And it is per type. Give intraday 2 lock and swing 3 lock, and the engine can never let intraday reach into swings money. Each type lives inside its own wall.
What if I set it larger than my account?
The page checks it against your available margin as you type, and it also checks the total across all types. If the sum goes past what you actually have, it tells you exactly how much to free up, and save is refused until it fits.
Stocks traded in parallel. 3.
This is the field people misread most. It does two things at once. It caps how many trades of this type can be opened together, and it divides the budget. Budget divided by this number is what one trade may use. 2 lock with 3 parallel gives about 66,000 per trade. Set parallel to 1 and the whole 2 lock stands behind a single trade.
So this is really a position size control.
It is both size and diversification. A high number means smaller, more spread out trades. A low number means bigger, more concentrated ones. If your trades ever come out surprisingly small, this field is almost always the answer.
Where do I set my stop loss and target?
That is the important change. They are no longer a flat percentage you type. The engine derives them from the market's own structure, support and resistance, the instrument's volatility, and a minimum reward to risk it insists on.
Why is a flat percentage wrong? 2% sounds simple.
Because 2% is sensible on a cash stock and meaningless on an option premium that routinely moves 30% in a day. One number cannot fit both. That is exactly the bug this replaced. So your inputs are these two instead. Risk profile: conservative, standard, or aggressive sets how tight the engine is and the minimum reward it demands. Risk per trade, in percent, is the share of capital you accept losing if the stop is hit.
And the stop moves after that?
It trails and only ever in your favor. Once a trade is comfortably ahead, the stop is pulled up behind the nearest support, it never loosens. For options there is also an exit horizon, because a bought option bleeds overnight while a written one earns from that same decay.